What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the GoToGuys podcast with Jordan and Howie. We're here on a Sunday evening, Sunday, May 4th. May the 4th be with you.
What's up, everybody? Great weekend. Just graduated, freshly graduated, done with school. My old man family came out. Great weekend. Got some good food. Watched some sports. Watched the Knicks advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals. But we'll get into all that a little bit later. A lot of NBA to talk about. A lot of NBA action unfolding between our last podcast and now. By the time this comes out, all the series should be over. However, we still have one more series to conclude after this podcast, which is the Warriors and Rockets, but we'll also get into that. And yeah, all the series have basically been done, and they're kicking off tonight with the Cavs Pacers for Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals for the 1 versus 4 seed there. And yeah, a lot of good stuff to look forward to still, even with that first round coming to an end.
Yeah, no, Game 7 tonight. I think it's a surprising Game 7 considering the way the series went. The Golden State Warriors with playoff experience, championship experience on their side, had a 3-1 lead against, I'd say, the upstart Houston Rockets. But I guess they do have some experience, especially with, Fred VanVleet. And here we are, Game 7, tied 3-3. And, most people are probably thinking Golden State is the favorite. But, Houston has showed up to play.
And what people tend to forget and overlook, the Warriors, they have Curry, they have Draymond, they have Jimmy Butler, all guys that have been in the championship before. I mean, the Rockets have a coach that took the Celtics to the championship against the Warriors in his first year as the coach, his only year as the coach, due to unforeseen circumstances. But the Rockets, in my opinion, aside from like the Spoelstras, the Kerrs, the Popoviches, who also is now retired from coaching, and maybe Kenny Atkinson. I mean, Ime Udoka, in my opinion, stands at the top ranks for NBA coaches in the NBA.
No, I agree with you. I mean, I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Same thing with Bickerstaff in Detroit.
Yeah.
But here we are, Udoka definitely makes a difference with his players. He puts together solid game plans. His guys are motivated to play hard. He's doing something right. And I feel like this, as much as I think that people, again, would say, oh, championship experience, Golden State Warriors, but I don't think a lot of people, including myself, expected to be here at a Game 7 tonight.
Yeah.
So I really think it could go either way. I'm actually going to be watching. I haven't watched a ton of NBA this playoff season, but looking forward to it.
One thing about the Rockets compared to the Warriors, I honestly don't even know how the Warriors are up 3-1. Just from watching the games, I guess they've just been a little bit better. But the Rockets, you have the young guys like Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, who are former top 3 overall picks. And then you have the gritty guys, Fred VanVleet, Steven Adams, who gets overlooked a lot. Dylan Brooks, who I know is full of shenanigans similar to Draymond Green, but he knows his role and he knows how to do it well without going over the top, in my opinion. And I just think that, like, either way, the Rockets should be happy with the outcome. But if they advance, I mean, Timberwolves Rockets should be good. And we'll touch upon Timberwolves Lakers later, but all those series should be good. And then obviously the Thunder and Nuggets speak for themselves.
Yeah, you mentioned Steven Adams. He's just one of those sort of unheralded guys under the radar. Huge guy, by the way, but he just seems to make any team that he's on better. He's a glue guy. Yeah. He does the little things. He's motivated. He plays defense. So he's definitely solid there. I mean, he has that track record on the teams that he's been on. And I think, as you mentioned, a lot of people forget that he's there right now. Just talking a little bit about, you mentioned coaches making a difference and stuff like that. So it probably makes sense to just back up quickly, talk about the Knicks game from Thursday night. I mean, very exciting to watch, but it was almost amazing to me that the Knicks were able to win that game. We were watching it with a very hyped, excited crowd when we were in Ann Arbor. So, certainly Detroit fans there, and certainly Knicks fans, a lot of the people from New York. But wow.
Yeah, I can't think the last time a Knicks game in the playoffs has been like a confident win where we just dominate from start to finish. I really can't
Yeah.
remember it. It's just
No, I agree with you. And it's like we were watching that game and it seems like the Knicks get lost in themselves at times. They come so dependent on Brunson, and Brunson's a phenomenal player. I mean, he is a superstar. I get that you want the ball in his hands, but it's like you have certainly with the starters, you have four other competent options who, if given the ball, especially if they're open because Brunson's drawing so much attention, they can make shots. So you know, again, it's like you're hanging by the edge of your seat. They're
it's
going into
crazy.
Boston starting tomorrow night. I mean, the defending champions. Porzingis is there. Obviously, there's a story there with him being a former Knick, but it's like they are going to have to play. You feel like they're going to need to play perfectly in
Yeah,
order to win that series. I mean, it's like I almost have a tough time seeing them getting two games.
yeah.
It's amazing.
I just the one thing I'll say though that obviously the Celtics are better than the Pistons, and
Oh,
I
of
think
course they are.
yeah, those games were a little closer, obviously, than I think some of the games were expected to be. But the Celtics, or not the Celtics, the Knicks this past summer put together a team to beat the Celtics because they knew that they had to beat the Celtics if they wanted to win the championship. And in my opinion, just my opinion, I think they match up better with the Celtics just in terms of length, defense. I think you got like guys like McCall and OG who are going to be the primary defenders on Jalen Brown and Tatum. I mean, they're going to score, but it's going to be tough. And then Cat versus Kristaps. If I'm Thibodeau, I'm literally just defend the 3 point line. They can do whatever they want in the paint. Just don't let them shoot the three. If they beat you in the paint, so be it. Because that's not the Celtics' strong game. Obviously, it's shooting threes. But I guess we'll see. The Knicks got to get one in Boston in one of the first two games. Probably game one for it to be a series because you take away home court advantage. But I think they match up better with the Celtics just in terms of length, defense, just across the board. But I mean, Brunson's got to be special. Cat has to be special. McCall and OG were brought in to be 3 and D guys, and then Josh Hart's that glue guy who needs to do everything, kind of like Drew
No,
Holiday. So
no, listen, I agree with you on all points, but it's like I said, I just feel like they need to play perfectly. Like Tibbs, he relies so heavily on the five starters. The bench doesn't get a lot of minutes. The Celtics are like 10 deep. Tibbs doesn't strike me as like that coach that's just going to make little adjustments that are going to make that much of a difference. I mean,
I mean,
I
he does it
just,
in the fourth quarter. It's just I don't
I
know.
don't
I don't know if
know.
that's lucky or or Jalen Brunson's just that guy who's just clutch
Yeah.
and knows how to get it done. But it's weird. It almost seems like the Pistons just fell apart in the end for some of the games. But
Yeah, no, I mean, in that game, they were winning. Well, the Knicks were winning by like 15, and then the Pistons came back,
the
and
Knicks were playing at a level that looked like they could win a championship in the first quarter. Like I was shocked
well,
because they
they
were
had spurts. They had spurts in the first round series, but like they couldn't just keep it going consistently.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but you almost start to think like if the Knicks don't win this series, it's like, where do they go from here? I don't want to get ahead. We'll wait and see. Let's hope. It's like if the Knicks take it to 7 games and lose in 7 games, is the season considered a success? I mean, to me, it's not a success unless they get to at
I
least the
mean,
Eastern
they
Conference
got to
Finals. I
win.
mean, they've been building for 4 or 5 years, and you talk about what they gave up to get McHale, some of the players who are probably going to be on the block, after this season, maybe Giannis, maybe Devin Booker. When you think about the haul they gave up to get McHale, I mean, he came on in the last 2 games of the Detroit series. He literally needs to average like, low to mid 20s in every game. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the haul you paid to get him.
Yeah.
And when again, giving up Randall and Dante DiVincenzo to get Cat. I mean, DiVincenzo doesn't seem like he's really been the same player since he's been in Minnesota. I think
Randall has been
Randall's
great
come
in the
on. I mean, he's
playoffs.
been terrific. No, I agree. I agree, and we'll talk about Minnesota a little bit more a little bit later. But yeah, so
The
listen,
the
the
Knicks
Knicks
just
got what they wanted. I mean, I don't think anybody really thought since the beginning of the season. Maybe they thought before the season started they could be a number 2 seed, but obviously Cleveland had a phenomenal season.
Yeah.
This is what it's going to be. It was either going to be this series or the next series. You're going to get either Cleveland or Boston. So it's put up or shut up time.
I
That's
mean,
what it comes down to. And
Knicks are
it can't be Jalen. I'm sorry, it can't be Jalen just running around on the floor like he did on that last play of the Detroit game, which was so memorable when he drained that three. But it can't be that all the time. It reminds me of like when Carmelo was on the team.
yeah.
You know?
It's Knicks are healthy. They weren't healthy when they played fully healthy when they played the Pacers because of OG's injury. This is the time. You have the team, you have the players, and they just need to live up to expectations. I think Brunson and OG have been living up. Cat can be even better. And I mean, McCall, he doesn't need to be the scorer. I mean, he wasn't the best shooter by any means in the series, but the defense was where he played defense when it mattered most, and he's going to be assigned with Tatum, and they, I mean, we'll see where it goes.
If you could guarantee me that three guys on the Knicks bench would play at least 15 minutes of competent basketball, I'm not saying 15 points, but just 15 minutes of competent
Gritty minutes,
basketball.
gritty.
Yeah, just to give these guys, play Precious Achua. Miles McBride has it in him. Like these guys need to step up. I mean, and again, like I said, that comes down partly to the coach. The coach has to
Yeah,
motivate these guys. How many opportunities do you have? Only 8 teams make it to the second round of the playoffs every year. If you want to be one of the final four, you got to play your best. But
yeah.
it's just,
Like,
heart of a champion. I mean, the Celtics are a very, very good team. Jason Tatum's a very good player.
yeah.
They've got a
And
lot of talent.
if you have like Peyton Pritchard coming to the game and you play campaign, I would just have campaign be that pest, that Pat Beverly, like you could foul him, just hard fouls, bump them, like make them work. I feel like the Knicks play soft at times. Like, the Pistons was actually a pretty gritty win. I think the Knicks should have gotten more foul calls than they were given, but the Knicks do one thing well, and that's drawing free throws. And the Celtics' main game is pick and roll, and if they can hit their threes, no one's beating them. But I mean,
Yeah,
The Knicks are built to stop them, so we'll see if they can get it done.
yep. I was going to say, to me, the main thing is the Knicks got to move the ball around. They can't get into this Formula One race, with the Celtics just going up and down the court and trying to keep up with them in scoring. And like you said, you got to play decent defense on the perimeter. I read a stat about OG has been pretty competent in terms of limiting Tatum, when it comes to his overall offensive game. But at the end of the day, Celtics have a lot of other talent that can step up. Anyway,
Yeah.
you know,
I don't
just
think we need.
talking.
I was just
Yeah,
gonna
go
say I
ahead.
don't think we need to touch on the Thunder, Celtics, and Cavs series. I think they speak for themselves. Better team, dominant. I mean, Ja went down. I think actually interesting. I think the Grizzlies could have made that a 5, 6, 7, not maybe not 7, but 5 or 6 game series if Ja's healthy and they win game 3. I think the Grizzlies found something out. Just because when you watch them, they were so like it was just very interesting to watch the Grizzlies in that game 3 and then dominate the Thunder until Ja went out. But there's something to keep an eye on for. And then the Celtics and Cavs, I mean, they dominated. The Cavs like put up like 40, I think, in back-to-back games, or won by 40. And the
Yeah, no, listen, I'm
Celtics were just a
interested.
better team.
I'm interested to watch the Pacers and the Cavs tonight, just to see, like the Pacers, Halliburton's out on the court talking big,
It's
talking a
so
big game in the
unnecessary,
first
by the
round
way. Was
series.
not a fan
No,
of that at
totally
all.
agree. Totally agree. And
Like
I
Giannis
think
said it
everybody
perfectly.
involved realized after it that not the right thing, and he's not going to be there going forward. But,
He shouldn't be there.
w-
Disrespectful.
we're going to see very quickly, if the Pacers are capable of keeping up with the Cavs. I don't know that
Yeah,
they are. I mean, maybe 5 games in that series,
yeah.
maybe. Um, just an interesting thing, the game 7 last night, the Nuggets against the Clippers. To me, very intriguing series, very competitive, obviously. Just reading some articles after the game and stuff like that, and things move so fast in this day and age in terms of like social media and news. And it's like a lot of people forget that with 3 games left in the season, the Nuggets did the unprecedented move of firing their coach and their GM. I mean, that is just crazy. It's absolutely crazy, but somebody saw something. I guess it had to be the owner at the end of the day, because even after the game last night, Jokic, of all people, I mean, he's the quietest guy out there. He's not a sexy player, very unassuming, as talented as he is. But he basically came out and did something in making that change, and it's gotten the Nuggets back to playing at a high level, and they beat a
High
very
level is
talented
questionable.
Clippers team.
I mean,
Listen,
high
listen,
level is
you and I
questionable.
talked about it. I mean, that Clippers team being healthy and the talent that they had to finally be out there, you know, and it wasn't like last night's game was really that close for most of the game.
Yeah, I
So,
mean,
you know,
James
we'll
Harden failed to show up once again in the big game.
yeah,
I know we spoke highly on him. He just
definitely did
doesn't come
speak
up.
highly.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it was a good series for the Clippers. I mean, I don't really know where you go next. And then for the Nuggets, it's a battle of the MVP candidates. You got Shea and Jokic. I think the Thunder should definitely win that series, just based off watching both. But that should obviously, in my opinion, go to 6 or 7. But I think the Thunder come out. I just think they're better. They're tougher. But
They're
I mean, when you have,
deeper. I
yeah,
mean, the Thunder listen, they won 70 plus games. You would think they're going to be in the finals. I know we talked about the Lakers. Lakers are obviously out at this point. We'll touch upon that a little bit.
and we can touch
Um,
upon that now because I think that and the Pacers are the only other series. But I was gonna say, I think there's only one team, in my opinion, that could take down the Thunder or Celtics, and it's the Timberwolves. And
yeah,
I know I speak highly on LeBron, but I mean, it's obvious. Even though Luka wasn't 100%, Timberwolves are just physical. And everyone, I don't know what the hate is with Rudy Gobert. Like, I know he did the stupid thing with the COVID microphones, like back in the
he
day,
did. That
and
was stupid.
he like gets in a lot of arguments with like people like Draymond. He is like a beast, and it's sad because everyone touches upon him like when he plays bad. But if you remember last year, he was like one of the main reasons they beat the Nuggets, especially in that game 7. And like everyone would just talk about how Luca like crossed him up in one of those games in that series with the Mavericks Timberwolves last year, not this year, last year. But what do you have, 27, 24 in a closeout game in LA, like on the road? Like, he's just a tough, gritty guy. And then you have like Nas Reed, you have Julius Randle, like big, just strong guys. You have Mike Conley, who's like similar to like a Josh Hart, like a bulldog like guy that just gets it done. And then, I mean, Anthony Edwards is just a star. And then,
No, Edwards is a superstar, and he's rising to the occasion.
yeah,
I agree with all the things that you're saying. I mean, Minnesota had a bit of a rough go in the beginning of the season after getting rid of Cat. I mean, anytime you trade a player of his caliber, it's going to impact the team. But I give the organization credit. The seasons are long. There's a lot of games. They got it together, and they're playing their best ball at the right time.
yeah.
I don't know if
I,
they got the horses. I don't know if they've got the horses. I mean,
I
you
think they should be
know,
the favorite regardless. Rockets Warriors come out, but
I do agree with you. I do agree with you. It could be like an OKC, could be an OKC, Timberwolves series. But let's see. Listen, the Nuggets again, heart of a champion. We'll see. But OKC just
yeah,
seems to be clicking at the right time, and Minnesota seems to be clicking at the right time.
yeah. Like
Definitely
Minnesota's
do.
just like big, like they're just. I mean, when you have Randall, Gobert, and Nas Reed like guarding the paint, it's like the Lakers like I don't even think they played a center last game because
Yeah.
he was just they're just great built around team, and the coach is obviously great too. That's where the Mavericks excelled last year. They had the big men to beat them down low, and I think they went out, got Julius Randle. Cat wasn't the best defender, and for some reason, Julius Randle turns into not a superstar, but an all-star in the playoffs when he gets traded. Wish he played like that for the Knicks, but
When he
in
gets
the playoffs,
traded, yeah. Listen, he was never appreciated as much as he should have been for the Knicks. He had his bumps in the playoffs and stuff, but yeah, no, he's showing up here and just touching upon the Lakers briefly. I don't think we have to go that deep down that road, but it is so interesting in sports, like what gets written in the dynamics when there's trades and perception and you make that trade, Luca, AD, they were the main pieces. Nico Harrison has been routinely lambasted over and over since that trade took place. And I think even going into the playoffs, we talked about it. It was like, LeBron, Luca, you know, the
Reed.
other players, yeah, the other players on the Lakers is like, they're going to win. They could go to the Western Conference Finals. They could win a championship. And that, to your point, they go up against a team with height and length and gritty defensiveness and talent, And it's like all of a sudden they look ordinary, and people are taking a step back and saying, well, maybe Nico wasn't wrong, or and even LeBron made a comment about, AD talked about we needed a center, and then look what happened to him. But again, to me, it is amazing, these storylines in sports, because all of a sudden people look and it's like, if Kyrie stayed healthy and AD was healthy going to the playoffs, and I know that's always been a big question with AD, but maybe Dallas makes a run. I mean, it's just
And
crazy
we,
because
we
all of a
said
sudden,
that. I mean, we
yeah,
said that.
all of a sudden it's now, well, Luca really, if he's ever going to get in shape, now's the time to get in shape. And, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the off season, because it's like, again, I don't think LeBron's going anywhere. He's got another year on his contract, but it's like, you look at the makeup of the team, you look at the assets that they have, and when you make as many trades as they do, you give up as many picks as they give up. There's only so many ways you can go at that point,
Yeah. And
regardless
but
of how
and
talented Luca is.
this doesn't mean that the Luca AD trade should be looked upon differently. I just like when you get a guy like Luca, like even though he didn't have his best playoff, like he's going to be your future forever once LeBron
Yes,
retires.
yes.
AD was, you might
He's
have gotten,
older,
yeah,
older.
he's great, but older.
Older and injury prone, unfortunately. I mean, you just look at what happened. He goes to Dallas. He played like 2 games and he's hurt. It's just
Yeah.
that's his MO at the end of the day. But when he's healthy, he is a very good player.
Yep.
You
And then the
know.
last series, Pacers Bucks. I mean, Pacers won 5-1, but I think the
Well,
talking point.
Pacers, no,
It's not
Papers,
about the
Cat, Pacers,
Pacers.
Cavs, Cavs.
But
I'm sorry, you said Bucks.
no, I said the Pacers played the Bucks, and the
Yes,
Pacers
yes,
came
yes. I'm
out,
sorry. Go ahead.
and it was only a 5-game series. I mean, Pacers won, Bucks weren't healthy. I think the only talking point is like, if you're Giannis, like, what are you thinking? It's just like you just go out and just dominate night after night, and yeah, I mean, you were up by 5 with like 30 seconds left, and your team just throws the game away. Literally threw the game away with
Yeah, I
turnovers.
mean, if I'm Giannis, I know there's the story. He's a great guy, by the way. Shows it over and over. He's an intelligent guy. I know he'd probably love to spend his whole career in Milwaukee, but I just don't see it. I mean, I think if he goes to that team and he says, guys, you gotta get me somewhere else, and you're gonna get a haul and you'll be able to rebuild. I think that's what has to happen
Yeah,
now. I
and
mean,
I think
there's no other way. And there's a number of teams that could pay up a lot to get him. I mean, it could be the largest haul ever. I mean, it literally, aside from players, it could be like 7 first round draft
Yeah,
picks.
and I think there's only two teams that are really. I think the Thunder could trade for him, but I don't think they will just because they don't want to change the dynamic. Like they have the pieces if they want to trade for him. In my
Yep.
opinion, the only two are the Nets, just because of the haul of first round picks, and then the Rockets. People tend to forget, like the Rockets are the 2 seed, and they have Jabari Smith and Jalen Green. One of them can easily be traded. They're like what 24, 25, and they have all those first round picks from I'm trying to think. Like I guess the Harden deal and Chris
Yeah, well,
Paul
they had
deal.
picks. It's interesting because the Rockets have picks from the Nets, and then the Nets have picks from the Knicks. As you said, OKC's out
And
there
the
too. I,
Suns.
I
And the
think
Suns.
Utah has a lot of picks too, but I don't see him wanting to go there. I mean, I've seen like Dallas mentioned, UCLA mentioned, Golden State mentioned,
I
the
don't
Heat.
see
But it's
Golden
like
State. Yeah.
If you're the Bucks, you need like 6 or 7 picks. I mean, plus probably 2 young players.
Well, yeah, that's why I think the Rockets just make like I don't think the Rockets are going to trade Sengun. I think they'll keep like Van Fleet, Adams, like that gritty core. But if you're thinking about Jalen Green's a great player, Jabari Smith, great players. But if it means getting Giannis and giving up his 4, 5, 6 first round picks, I think you got to take that shot.
I mean, could you see the Knicks? I mean, we have to
Can't hear
listen
you.
to.
Can't hear you.
Sorry, I just stepped out of the room. Could you see the
Yeah.
Knicks, trading like, I mean, let's say, yeah, I don't even know. Could you see that they'd probably have to
I
trade
just
either two or three of Cat, Mikel, and OG, right? I mean, or maybe Josh
I think
Hart,
they
and
would
I don't
trade.
know.
Oh, I think OG is more expendable than McCall, in my opinion. I think it would be OG, Cat, Deuce McBride, and Mitchell Robinson maybe, and like 3 first rounders. But at that, and
But
then
then you got
yeah, like it's
nothing,
just not,
right? You got
it's not
nothing.
real. That's why the Nets and the
Yeah.
Rockets like make the most sense. I don't see the Rockets taking on, or what am I saying? I don't see the Bucks taking like KD and people from the Suns. It's just the Rockets and Nets make total sense. I don't see the Warriors, Heat trading for him. Unless the Heat want to part with Hero, but I don't see that. Or Adebayo.
What about San Antonio? Is that a
Who,
possibility?
who are they trading? They're not trading Wemby.
I mean,
And they
they've
don't have
got
that
they've
many
got
first
other
round
young
picks.
guys. Yeah. I would say between the Rockets and the Nets, I mean, if I was him, I'd probably want to go to the Rockets. It just,
The Grizzlies
it's
are also interesting. That's the only other team that I think would be interesting. I just don't know if Giannis will want to play there.
I have to say if the Nets are able to get Giannis after getting, going through the Kyrie, Kevin Durant, Harden in the mix there for a season and a half. If they're able to get Giannis too, I mean, that's pretty crazy. But again, I just don't see the Nets winning a championship anytime soon. Like I think if I'm Giannis, I'm gonna want to try to give a list of carefully curated teams that he wants to go to that he thinks can win. And you might even have to, do a three-team trade. I mean, could the Cavs pull it off? Maybe the Cavs could pull it off. I mean, they've got a
I
lot
just
of
don't see
good young
them
players.
breaking up that core. I just don't. I
Ah,
have an article right here. Just want to go through it. So this is
yep.
the order of the most picks over the next 10 years.
Well, OKC's
So
got to be number one, right?
first round picks, OKC 15. They have 35 total.
Wow.
Spurs are in second with 34 total,
Oh,
14 first
so
rounders.
that's why I said the Spurs.
How do they even have that many? I don't even
Well, they traded,
who they
what's the name of the
trade?
guy they traded to Atlanta? DeJounte Murray, right? They got a bunch of picks
No,
when they
he
made
went to
that
the Pel.
trade.
Oh yes. Dejounte Murray. I guess they traded Derek White back in the day and got a couple first rounders
No,
there.
and they've
A
kept
lot
their
of them are
picks. They
later
haven't
though.
traded them.
Yeah, they have
And they've kept
five
those picks.
or they have four first round picks this year. Wow.
Listen, I think the Spurs could be a dark horse.
Yeah.
Put
Wizards are up there. Dude, so the Spurs have 30, Thunder have 35, Spurs have 34, and then in third place is the Wizards with 25. So nine less than second. And then you
well,
got just
the
throwing
thing
out
that's
Magic.
crazy though, the thing
It's
that's
actually pretty
crazy
interesting,
is
Magic.
that
The Nets,
OKC.
Jazz.
But the thing that's crazy is OKC won 70 something games this year, and their nucleus is young, and they've
You
got
cut out for a
35
second. Cut out
picks.
for a second.
Sorry, I was saying the thing that's crazy is OKC won 70 something games this year, and they've got that young nucleus, and they've got all
60,
those
60
freaking
something, yeah.
picks. I don't know, dude. If I'm OKC,
I
man,
do have to say, pretty surprising. The Knicks are tied for eighth. Knicks have four first round picks this year.
this year,
They have their own. They have
yeah.
2025 via the Pistons, the Milwaukee Bucks, and then the Wizards, but they're all protected.
Wait.
So,
When is that as of? Because don't forget, the Knicks traded two of the picks to the Nets. I think the Nets have two first
maybe
round picks from the Knicks this year. That might not be up to date.
maybe it's not updated. Is that 2024? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Knicks don't have that many picks. But OKC probably still does. That I'll say. Like, listen, don't be surprised. We'll see. I mean, if
Yeah.
OKC wins a championship, maybe not. But if they don't
You,
win a
you keep cutting
championship, I could
out.
see them. I don't know why. If
But
OKC,
yeah.
if OKC doesn't win a championship, like if they lose to the Timberwolves or something like that, you know,
Yeah.
I could see them making a move. I mean, Giannis is Giannis. I mean, he's top three in the NBA right now. I'd say top two. Well, top three if you want to throw Shy in the
No, he's not
mix.
better than Shea or Jokic. Yeah.
Well, it's okay. So he's top three, but
But
he's
other
he's
than
pretty
that,
close.
yeah, no, I think he's good. Other than that, yeah, that pretty much does it for the NBA. A lot of good series to look forward to. I'll be in Asia in like 3 days for most of the start of the series. We'll definitely touch upon it. Hopefully, get some podcasts done out there.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
probably going to
I
be
think we
tough,
should,
but we'll do our best.
yeah, and I think we should just did we talk about the draft? I don't even remember when the draft. It was last week, I guess.
No, we didn't. We haven't had a
When you were
chance to
away,
record
but
since then.
I guess we can just touch upon some notables, in my opinion. I think the big winners of the draft, no, all bias aside, the Giants, I think they got the best player in the draft athletically in Abdul Carter. Fits perfectly there. And you also, when you look at the Giants, just listen to this defensive line. You got Burns, Dexter Lawrence, Thibodeau, and Carter. That is a crazy defensive line. And the only other team that I think has a better one is who I also think won the draft, the Browns. I think they got Mason Graham, they have Myles Garrett, they have tons of guys there. And for you to get a guy like, I know everyone has their controversial takes on Shador Sanders, but for someone of his caliber to fall to you in the fifth round, that is like unheard of. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say about that, by the way, I agree with you on the Giants. I thought the Jets did decent as well, but as it goes with drafts, you don't really know until you know. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But as far as Sanders goes, it's just one of those things that I think that teams just thought he was potentially toxic. When you see some of the stuff that's going on, his dad out there talking a lot. It wasn't like he played for a top 10 team. It wasn't like he played for a Big Ten or SEC top team. I mean, he played for Colorado. They were barely over 500. And you just can't, these days, you just can't go out there and come off being like this cocky player. Like, I saw an article today about like when he went into interview with the Giants and like apparently Brian Daboll, when he interviews these quarterbacks, he really pushes them and tests them to see how smart they are, to see how they can understand plays and different formations and lineups. And they expect people to be prepared. You can't go out there and come off as a clown. And it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, Cleveland drafted another quarterback, Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah,
It's not like Shador's just going to go in there and all of a sudden start. And like
yeah,
you just feel like it's the circus comes to town. If you saw the video of the coach and the GM when they made the pick, they didn't look happy. A lot of people were speculating it was just the owner who said, take this guy. So, it's a shame that one guy who is at that level gets talked about so much versus all the other people out there. There's so many stories. There's hundreds of players, but listen, we'll see what the Browns get. I mean, they've made some questionable decisions the last couple of years, so be interesting to see what happens there.
yeah. And I just random news that we're just getting on the podcast. I guess it makes like it's for you and me, and I guess the rest of the family. Santa Ono's leaving to go to the University of Florida, the Michigan
That just
president.
came that just came out right now.
Yeah,
That is very interesting.
yeah.
He's only been in Michigan for 2 years.
I know.
Just strange. Very strange.
I wonder who Michigan's getting. Brady? Peter? Just kidding.
Wow. My guess is they don't know who they're getting right now since he just was speaking at
I
he
know.
was speaking at the commencement. But again, I don't know that with presidents of universities, reputation is so much that like again Florida, Michigan, they're both Michigan's been ranked higher than Florida academically. That's strange. You got to figure it
He
just
must
comes
like the
down to
weather
money.
there. Probably
Well, they
likes the
must have
weather.
offered him so much money
Yeah,
that he wanted to go. That's what it usually comes down to.
yeah.
So,
Crazy.
yeah, we'll see what happens from there. Interesting
Um,
stuff. Listen, we're going on for a while here, longer than we usually like to. We didn't really get to baseball, hockey, some of the other sports out there, but we'll definitely be back when there's more time. Again,
yeah,
Jordan's gonna be traveling for like the next 3.5 weeks. It's definitely gonna be tough to record, but we'll do our best.
yeah. I just want to do some quick hitters before we go, just because a lot of stuff's happened. Yesterday, Sovereignty won. I think that's how you pronounce it. Sovereignty won the 2025 Kentucky Derby for anyone who paid attention to that. Greg Popovich, I know I mentioned it before, stepping down, becoming the team president.
Yep.
And just, I guess, on hockey's Blues,
Okay, just real
Jets.
quick, hold on just real quick. Just
Okay.
Pop, stand-up guy. He's a legend. Players talk about the impact that he's had on them during the course of their career. Jordan and I were fortunate to meet him at when he got inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame. That's a guy that's pretty much universally loved. Again, he's going to remain with the Pacers as the team president, but still a legend. And he's had some health issues, so only wish him the best.
Yep. And then, yeah, I mean, hockey playoffs continue. Stars won a crazy game 7. Blues, Jets tonight. Oilers win. Panthers, Golden Knights, all those teams. So a lot of stuff to look forward to for the month of May.
Absolutely. It's good stuff. We appreciate everybody tuning in. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends. Follow us on Instagram, the GoToGuys Sports. Working on some other good stuff that hopefully is going to see the light of the day at one time. And just, we appreciate everybody listening. And we just hope that next time we put up another show, you'll listen and just tune in next time for another episode of the GoToGuys.
Yep. Thank you guys for listening, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.